So I learned from Kobnik's reading that critics really don't like Michael Bay's movies. Clearly, um, they look at his films like elementary stories that are covered by big explosions and crazy camera shots. Um, for example, like his Transformers movies or Armageddon. These are huge, box office hits that did extremely well money wise, but critically, they were not deemed good movies. Um, Kopnick basically says, all these, although these insights might be true, and Bay's movies won't really, have you leaving the theater in wonder of the plot or moved by the dialogue of the movie. It would be stupid for critics to undervalue how influential these films are in the box office. Um, there seems to be a trend in today's society where a brainless movie like Transformers with a like a fairly simple plot and flashy visuals might be more interesting to a viewer than a movie that really makes them think and has fantastic dialogue and a great script. Um, and yeah, I think Kopnick's argument lines up slightly with um, the Honest trailer for Armageddon. I think you know the video basically said the movie and Michael Bay in general only have simple plots that make no real sense and covers all the holes in the movie with large explosions, yelling and characters in a crunch against time. I don't think the trailer said one good thing about the movie, which is something I think Kopnick wouldn't agree with because I think Kopnick was making an argument that there's something beneficial to learn in every movie. Even Michael Bay's films, which the trailer was just talking about how bad the movie was. Um, and the Honest trailer kind of satirizes the movie because it calls it a Taco Bell equivalent of a movie, meaning it looks fine on the outside, but has a ton of issues the closer you look. Um, like they're using, you know, trained drillers to go into space instead of training astronauts to drill. So the video describes how the whole movie, um, is basically just explosions, yelling, and countdown to something bad happening. While the whole film doesn't really make any sense deep down. Um, and I agree with Kopnick's argument, although I think um, I've always been someone that enjoys movies with good, acting, good scripts, and those that make me think. I think there's a large market for movies, with mindless explosions and crappy plots. Traditionally, if you look at the movies that do well in the box office, it's not usually the ones that have the best story or the best acting or the most moving dialogue. It's the movies that have the best visuals and the most action. If you look at a couple examples, Transformers, Avatar, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, and The Avengers. These are movies that might not be as well made as Good Will Hunting or Shawshank Redemption or A Beautiful Mind, but they performed way better in the box office because people like what they have to offer. They like the cool explosions or the cool visuals of a dinosaur or robots, and they the mindless plots of they really don't have to think that hard, but they understand it well enough, and it just goes it comes out smooth, and they really like those. Um, so a film from the '90s that I would like to see an honest film for is Forrest Gump or Good Will Hunting. I think these are two fantastic movies, and I really can't see too much wrong with them aside from maybe the idea that the plot's unrealistic, but besides the acting is amazing, and the story is moving with great script and dialogue. I think I would like to see what Honest Trailers has to say about them.